Okay, I'm making this video because this is really kind of alarming information, and it's kind of a zombie update idea, zombie clues. And frankly, I don't like knowing this information by myself. I want some other people to know this. Anyway, so I know a little bit about transhumanism, but things progress so quickly that I want to keep up. So I thought I would just go check out transhumanism again on YouTube, and I came across this interview with Tom Horn. And Tom Horn he's done a lot of investigating of this, and he's really great. But as I was listening, he mentioned different organizations, so I looked those up while he's talking about them, and some things just started to come together. For example, he mentions the Jasons, and here are the Jasons. Who are the Jasons? So he was talking about them like everyone knows, and I didn't know who the Jasons are, but okay, they are um, they're a scientific advisory, sciences post-war elite. Okay, here it is. The Jasons, a small and elite group of scientists. So then, just now I noticed this: the top Pentagon scientists fear brain-modified foes. Okay, so this was in 2008. So they have to keep up. They have to keep up, and this is why DARPA designated so much money for to create super soldiers. And I remember seeing that myself. And so I just noticed this right now. Okay, so there you go. They're competing. They're absolutely competing. So then another thing that I'm going to jump into Tom Horn's talk in just a second, but another thing that Tom Horn talks about is chimeras. And chimeras are, human-animal hybrids, and there have been reports over the years, and he does remind us that science and technology is ahead of us, the masses, the average person, like 40 or 50 years, and they release information to us little by little, right? So they're doing these experiments with DNA and genetic splicing and creating these chimeras, and he says that one of these articles from the UK Academy of Medical Sciences published a report and said there are 150,000, I don't know, adult chimeras already. Now look at some of these top titles on these results. So they need new laws. They even need new constitutional laws to decide what is human and what is animal, depending on the percentage of the hybrids, what they are. So everything has been leading up to this. The plants, the animals are already GMOs and hybrids. So people are next, and like this says right here, they're coming. Okay, and this is 2007. So Germany, okay, this is October 2011, and there are 2 public reports, documents about chimeras. Why we need to be more accepting of chimera. Okay, this is the one I looked at. So it takes time to look at these. I can't look at all of them, and I'm just leading the way. I hope that somebody takes a little time to look at this, because I don't know, it's like the end. You know what I mean? It really is something. So here are these categories. Category 2, Category 3. And they have to, there's ethicists, they have to make some decisions about what's okay and what isn't okay. Is there public debate on this? Does anyone know about this? So this is animal, the ACHM stands for something. It's up here. If I can't find it fast, I'll skip it. Oh, animals containing human material. Animals containing human material. And then there will be humans containing animal material. I mean, they even talk about having embryos in humans that are animals, and maybe those strange human-like animals that have washed up on shores, maybe they are chimeras that have, maybe they threw them into the ocean or something. So you have to look at all of these. And then read down farther and see what else they're trying to do. Anyway, implanting an animal embryo into a human. Now you know they've done it. If they have to decide if it's okay or not, you know that they've already done it. So Germany is a good place. Here's an article in Germany. And so that's that. So there are so many. So it takes time. That's why I think people should have study groups. But he mentions also the Brookings Institute. This is the organization that is, okay, here's what the Brookings Institute is, right here, Wikipedia. Oh, it's commissioned by NASA. And they recommend having like a new constitution. Oh, that's the report, commissioned by NASA. But the Brookings Institute itself is this, and one of the Washington's oldest think tanks. So the Constitution will have to change. I did click on this trying to go to their site, but it comes up with nothing. Not what you're looking for. But you can try to get it yourself. Well, who cares? Okay, so here's other PDFs on humanized lab animals. Okay, so what I want you to hear now is this. Okay, this is Tom Horn speaking, and this is from the Josh Tolley channel. He interviews him just for a short time, 28. I think Tom Horn has a whole thing about transhumanism that is 5 hours long. Alex Jones has done a thing on transhumanism, which is pretty good, and he gets all outraged and stuff. Tom Horn is a little bit calmer. So listen to this.
To actually establish the guidelines that are going to be used for, first of all, setting the policy with regard to how the U.S. Constitution is going to have to be amended in order to extend constitutional privileges and responsibilities to human non-humans. By the way, the Brookings Institute, this is the #1 policy think tank in the world. It's the #1 policy think tank for the United States government. Go to the Brookings Institute right now and look up what is called the Future of the Constitution series. You'll probably find it right on the front page. It's their major series that's going on right now to write the legalese for how the law will need to be amended in the future. Read articles number 9 and articles number 10 talking about new forms of genetically engineered humans.
Okay, new forms of genetically engineered humans. And remember this back here. Oh, now I can't find it, but that was about the, oh yeah, this. Top Pentagon scientists fear brain-modified foes. So they want to keep up. You know, they want killers when it comes to war. Right?
On the near horizon. Now, catch what I just said. The Brookings Institute, the #1 policy think tank in the world, talking about how the U.S. Constitution is going to have to be amended in order to extend Bill of Rights privileges to human non-humans. These are humans who have been sufficiently genetically altered as to no longer even be considered to be human on the very near horizon. Before we went to the break, we were talking about the Global Governance 2025 at a critical juncture. These are all reports that if people will email me, I'll send them the actual reports. Some of these are only 200 pages long, some are 500 pages long. There's 2 different movies. I'll send them that DVD free at my expense. There's no advertising on it, so it's not a gimmick, and I'll make that available to them. In the Global Governance 2025 on page 35, it says direct modification of DNA at fertilization is widely researched with a goal of removing defective genes.
Okay, so they have a goal of removing defective genes and changing people. They're doing it. They're already doing it. And I think Tom Horn's offer, this was back in December, but he has this offer to send the DVD and those reports and stuff that they've collected, and he probably will still give it if you're interested with, you know, pictures and movies or whatever.
By the way, I'd love to have a conversation about eugenics right there.
Okay, so this is the weird thing. He's, you know, they talk about eugenics. I mean, he's reminded of eugenics. So all this stuff about modifying the brain and making the Jasons fear that our
but we'll go on.
that the enemies are going to have their brains modified and they have to keep up. So think about Rudy Eugene. Okay, keep listening.
However, discussions of future capabilities open the possibility for designing humans with unique physical, emotional, or cognitive abilities, end quote. They are talking about a new form of human on the near horizon that could literally lead to the next world war and the need for all of the governments of the world to come together in mutual defense against this existential threat. Well, Josh.
So, they're trying to make killer humans, and maybe they've created some monsters already with altered brains, and not only just splicing and adding and things into the brain, but they can also do a lot of things electronically with and the combination of all these things. Believe me, I have a feeling they're really experimenting with these weird cannibal things and people ripping their intestines out and stuff.
In designing humans with unique physical, emotional, and cognitive abilities, I believe that we're witnessing now. So it represents a threat. And so your audience knows, I was a pastor for 25 years. I have an interest in eschatology, end-time events, biblical things. So they can accept or reject that part of who I am. But I believe that we're seeing the unfolding here of biblical prophecy. But even if a person doesn't accept that, if it doesn't fit in their worldview, if they just think, okay, that's lunacy, no such thing, they would have to admit that what we are doing now with genetically modified crops, genetically modified animals, and genetically modified humans is not